Hi, guys. This is Donald Ephraim again, coming to you from the kingdom of God here on earth. And why do I say that? We are his temple, we are his kingdom. Okay? Just a brief statement about that because when I say one thing, something pops in my head. He says he does not dwell in buildings made by hands, right? So, because the issue was David wanted to build him a house. And he said, "So, this house you want to build me, how big do you propose to build it? Seeing how heaven is my throne, I sit on it, and earth is my footstool. That's where I rest my feet." Okay. And besides, all this material is mine, so whose material do you plan to use to build me a house? So what are you saying? You want to borrow my credit card to buy me a gift? All right. So he said, no, you can't build me a house. Besides, he says, I don't live in buildings made by hands. Okay. So we are his temple. We are his temple. None of these edifice buildings and makeshifts and built for churches and so on and so forth. Now, I my intention for this video was to say that I'm always in the frame of mind of how do I say things without offending. And I know some people will be offended just because I'm breathing, and I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. I'm not good at holding my breath for a very long time. So, uh, but I am really trying to, provide information that believe, or I believe it will be useful to you. I know it's been beneficial and useful for me. Okay. Everybody say they different. So, what works for me may not work for you. All that craziness. I get it, but I think it's just a ploy to not want to change. That's good for you, but that ain't good. You want peace, you want love, you want whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. You want to save some money, right? Well, first of all, you got to make enough of it, and then two, you got to spend less of it that you make, and then you can save some money. But see, some people, you try and tell them how things work, and that might work for you, but that ain't gonna work for me, you know. Okay. Right. You showed up on the planet, what, by stork? Right. You leaving how? By fiery chariot? Oh, you different. Okay. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I try and I think about it all the time. It's like, how do I say stuff without offending? Because I don't have the time to babysit and coddle and do all that other stuff, beat all around the bush and whatnot, to tell you stuff that through my reading I've come to the conclusion of, about things. And so I just usually blurt it out there, stuff like Christianity is of the devil, is his religion, is his concoction, that kind of stuff. So I can't say that because people would just lose their mind, right? And say I done lost mine, right? And so I can't say that. So what I have to do is go, hey, I've been reading, and it appears to me that the Christianity that is practiced today is not that which was started in the book of Acts on the day of Pentecost. See, I have to say it like that. And so that if you do your research and you followed all the way back, you'll see that it's primarily a Roman institution. And so what we have here today, here in these Americas, is a religion of a foreign nation. See, that has been shoved down the throats of our African American citizens. Okay, that's what I have to say, something like that. Like that, so that maybe it appeal to you from a cognitive perspective and go, like Arsenio Hall used to do. Right? Something to make you think. And then you go, of course, do the research and read it for yourself. And I want to say that I don't like that word research. Oh, that's just one of those things I used to hear the other brothers and sisters say, you got to do your research. It just used to get under my skin, but I don't know another word, so I found myself going, well, you have to do the research. But you do have to do some reading, folks. You have to do some reading, and that's why I keep saying you have to read the whole thing. I know some people believe that this Bible is fake. All kinds of, it's a copy of the Book of the Dead, and various other things like that, right? But my thing is, well, if it's a copy of the Book of the Dead and you respect the Book of the Dead, it's like looking at a copy of a Van Gogh or some famous painter, or the original printing of this book. They only printed 1,000. Now there's a reprint. No, this one is invalid. Why? Because it's not the original. Come on, people. I'm sorry. See, then my passion takes over, and then, and it sounds like I'm fussing at people and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to appeal to your senses. It's like just the basics of intelligence, and that is, come on, as a black person, an African American, if you were born here and you're the descendants of slaves, and they're only slaves because they were forced into that lifestyle, okay? If you are a descendant of slaves, you're still living in your captivity. You're still living in the land of your captivity. That's basic. You know what I mean? It's just the truth. Okay? Now I'm free. I remember I wrote that, his brother responded, nah, brother, I'm free. I didn't say you wasn't free. I said you're still living in the land of your captivity. And the culture of this nation is not your culture. It's not your culture. No. And the religion that you're practicing, any of them, is not the religion of your forefathers. Now, I personally believe, reading this book, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob don't have a religion. He doesn't have a religion. He keeps calling them laws, statutes, ordinance, judgments, right? And he sets it up. He says nation. You are a nation. You went into Egypt 70 strong. You came out 1,000,000 plus strong. Well, now you can go occupy the territory that he promised to your forefather, right? He said, Abraham, let me show you the land I'm going to give you. All this is yours. But you can't inhabit it now. Why? It's just you and Sarah. You can't run all this, okay? But I'm going to give it to your descendants when there are enough of them to run this and occupy the territory. It's about a nation, and these are the laws and the culture of a nation, a people. That's what it is. And this religion called Christianity has turned it into a mockery and has us doing this stuff every weekend because this is what we were taught. This is what we were born into. This is how we were raised. And just because they told you bacon is good and And bacon tastes good doesn't mean bacon's good for you. Okay? It's the first thing your doctor tell you when you go in and go, oh, your blood pressure's a little high. You want to cut back on that bacon. It's the first thing. So, come on, people. So it's just basic stuff that I'm trying to get you to look at first. And so you can look at that. And then this book, I know it's been tampered with. I got it. That's for those of you who are awake. You're awake and you go, that book, no, I wouldn't trust that book. You got to use your intellect when reading this book and understand what it's talking about, who it's talking about, so you can get the information and get the knowledge. And especially those of you who have never read it, please don't reject it if you've never read it. You don't know what you're rejecting. Please read it. Stop going off of what other people tell you and just read it. And you can find out for yourself what it says. Okay? That's it. And after you have a comprehensive understanding of the book, then you can say, I'll pass or whatever. That's on you, man. But please just read the thing. You have to read it in order to know what's in it, what's not in it, to reject it, to accept it, embrace it or not. So all I'm trying to do is create understanding so that, you know, the thing that you're working so hard to achieve, you can get it. But if you're headed down the wrong path, this is scripture in the Bible talks about two paths. One is wide and broad and leads to destruction, and many are on that path. And then it says the other is narrow and straight, and only a few who find it. Find it. I mean, you got to look for it. Everybody got a truth. No, everybody can have a truth. Don't mean it's true. But there is a truth. And you got to look for it. You got to look for it. It's not easy to find. But you got to look. You got to look. So I'm just trying to help provide information that'll help you understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish. I want you to know that former Christian used to practice all those things. I was raised that way. God bless my mom and them. We survived. But after I've actually read the book, and it's a number of times, because I'm slow, I'll admit it. I have a learning disability, and my comprehension skills take a while before, bing, the light goes on. It's like, oh, I'm that brother that walks away and then realize, hey, he just insulted me. I should have whooped his. But at the time, it was like, oh, no, no problem, brother. And going about my business, right? So I admit that. And it took me a while to get through it, and several times. And it's like, bing, the light came on. It's like, oh my God, this is not even talking about that religion. That religion is using this book, but it's not talking about that religion. So please, people, please, please read it. Especially those of you who are practicing the religion. Read the whole thing and you'll see it's not a religious document at all. It has nothing to do with that religion, Christianity. Yeah, the word is in there. It tells you how it originates. And after the day of Pentecost, they return to keeping God's laws. They didn't start a new religion. They return to keeping the laws. That is what the widow issue is about. That's God's law. Okay? Those are laws. What was Peter doing up on the roof? Practicing the law. Come on, people. Huh? He was still practicing the dietary issues. The dietary law. He's, I don't eat that kind of stuff when he had that vision. And then if you read all of it, you'll see he was talking about people. It was talking about people, not food. Come on, come on. And what about that scripture you told me? Don't let no man judge you in what you eat and what you drink. What about it? All right, folks, I'm going to let you go. This is Donald Lee from Kingdomology out.